Howdy folks, thank you for tuning in to Gamer Guns. I am your host. What a beautiful evening here in wild and wonderful West Virginia. It's like 95 degrees outside with a heat index of over 100. So I'm going to do my best not to stumble over my words too bad this evening, guys. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the Springfield M1A SOCOM-16. Definitely an iconic rifle that you should be familiar with. And if you are not, stick around and you might learn a thing or two. Let's go ahead and rain some 308 downrange on our cardboard bad guys. So the SOCOM-16 is pretty much a submodel of the M14/M1A that we are all very familiar with. Pretty much this is exactly the same thing with a shortened barrel and gas system. This barrel is shortened to around, I believe, like 16.1 inches or something crazy like that. And it has a pretty distinct looking compensator on the front that does a very good job at taming a little bit of recoil and muzzle rise. In case you aren't necessarily familiar with this specifically, you might recognize the EBR, commonly referred to in Call of Duty and Battlefield. It's pretty much the same thing, just in a EBR chassis. Gives it a little bit more of a tactical, CQB setup type of look. And it's a very iconic weapon amongst first-person shooter video games. It's honestly not that impressive of a gun in Battlefield 6, although I will say, since I picked this up, I've been trying to force myself to use it because I'm a nerd like that. And I think I've found the setup I like, and it's working out pretty decent for me as of now. So the SOCOM-16, in case I forgot to mention, was pretty much set up with CQB in mind. That is the reason for the shortened barrel. But I don't really think it ever caught on all that well in actual military use. However, on the civilian market, people tend to really enjoy these, partly because they're just really cool and partly because they can be useful depending on application. I didn't really pick this up to be something practical, something that I would shoot all the time, mainly because 7.62 by 51 or 308 is too expensive to shoot all the time, at least for me. I'm not rich, believe it or not, guys. I'm just a regular poor like the rest of you. I picked it up mainly because it's cool. It's a good conversation starter amongst other nerds, and just something neat to have in the arsenal. But nonetheless, for practical application, if you had to use it for that, I think it would do perfectly fine if you train and practice with it. Recoil isn't all that bad. I will go ahead and give you a closer up view of the recoil here. It's very manageable with the addition of the compensator out front. It does a pretty good job at what it is supposed to do. Let's go try for a double. I threw one outside of the A zone. Overall, not bad. So overall, pretty shootable rifle. I will give you the benefit of the doubt. I am a pretty large dude, so I tend to soak up recoil on bigger calibers quite well. But 308 really isn't all that bad, guys, if you're unfamiliar with it. This sick rattle can job was done by yours truly. If you do not rattle can your rifles, you're gay. I think owning a M14/M1A/SOCOM-16 and not rattle canning it is a bit blasphemous. If you're going to get one of these, you might as well break out the Krylon and do some work. We got a piece of steel out at about 180 yards. I don't think I'm going to hit it offhand with these sights, especially. The front sight post is pretty wide. So I suck real bad at offhand shooting with iron sights, but you'll have that. 1 for 10, let's go. So I hope you folks really enjoyed this little installment here on Gamer Guns of my SOCOM-16 that I just recently picked up, guys. I really enjoy having this in the collection. This is definitely something that I do not regret spending the money on. It's not something that's meant to be practical. Once again, just something that I think is super neat, super fun to bring out here to the range, strike up some conversations with some fellow Call of Duty nerds. It's just a pretty cool overall barbecue piece, guys. But ladies and gentlemen, I'll catch you next time. I really do appreciate you stopping by. Hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already, guys, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.